Hey everyone, I'm Jennifer Franco, Las Vegas Guard Gated Home Specialist. Welcome back to Guard Gated Homes TV. This week we're doing the weekly market report and it's actually going to be a big one. So before we get started, I just want to give you guys a little bit of insight into the real estate market and what I'm seeing. Obviously, we're only 2 weeks into the new year. This week we're actually going to cover 32 brand new guard gated listings and 9 homes that have officially sold. And why is this kind of a big deal is that on average, we generally only see about 20 new luxury guard gated homes listed every week. So the fact that we're seeing 32, I'm curious to see if we're actually starting to see more supply come on, a little bit of a shift, or if it's just because we're getting off the holidays and people a lot of times were holding off, but we didn't see so much less inventory getting listed, except for literally right between Christmas and New Year's. So see what happens there. And I just want to give you some insight on our general market. Over the last 2 years, there's obviously been a lot of stagnance in our market in Vegas in every price point, and that's highly due to interest rates. And we had really good news the last couple of weeks. Interest rates have gone down a little bit again, and we're actually at the lowest interest rate for purchasing a home that we've been in 3 years, which is really wonderful. And I think that's, as you know, people hear that news, a lot of buyers are going to come back into the market, whether they're getting a loan or cash. This matters to people. People don't like that stagnance. They don't like being unsure. And obviously the cost of money is a big deal. So what we were seeing, over the course of the last 2 years, as far as the Las Vegas sales market as a whole, in 2024 in January, we were at a very low sales amount of just over 2,100 homes sold. And then we see it obviously goes up and down over the last, couple years. December, January seems to always be pretty low. Then our last November was actually the lowest it's been in 24 months. And that was only just under 2,100 properties sold. So in December, we actually saw a spike, almost 2,500, which has kind of been like what I would consider like a good average to be between 2,500 and 3,000 a month in sales for the overall market is like been functional for us. Not great, not bad or not great. I always say the worst thing for a real estate agent is like stagnance. Like, even in a bad market, we still make moves. In a good market, there's a lot more opportunity for everyone as well. But when it's just like, okay, no one wants to do anything, that affects myself as an agent, but it affects like buyers and sellers massively as well, because they're like calling me like, why hasn't my home sold? Or why hasn't what I'm looking for come available, etc. So that takes me to my next stat that I want to show you guys. This is going to be the market supply. So any agent throughout the US has access to something like this through their portal. And I like to look at it all the time. I like to look at the new listings all the time. That's why I deliver them to you guys. But that's for every type of home in the Valley. We're really blessed as agents in the Las Vegas Valley, because I know a lot of people will ask in other cities and states, they're like, oh, do you work in a certain like area? And for me, I grew up in Vegas, and Vegas has still been very easy for me to get around the town. So I sell all over the Valley. Obviously, I specialize in guard gated, but I also run a team and been selling for over a decade. So I sell in Mount Charleston, in the Northwest, in Summerlin, in Henderson, in Boulder City. I mean, all the stretches of Vegas. And in one day, I might go all the way to Mount Charleston. Then, the other day I was in Mount Charleston to Cadence to the Northwest, then to the Southwest before I returned home to, Summerlin is where I live at. It's a normal day for me. And really the Valley, it's only 45-minute drive across the Valley. So it's not that big of a deal. So I really can see everything in the Valley and get a really good pulse and temperature on all the different price points and what's happening. And so as we go into our supply, we saw obviously during COVID, it was like barely any supply. Then January 2024, we see that it's only less than 3 months supply, which is really low. We start to like creep up and seeing a lot more supply as interest rates got higher. Properties sat on the market. And then late last year, we had a ton of supply, and I thought we were going to really go into a true buyer's market. And we just had a ton of stagnance. And with that stagnance, we saw that buyers could feel that what had been in the market could feel that shift, and the offers really reflected that, but the comps weren't reflecting that because the sellers weren't taking the offers, not in the droves. I mean, you might have a one-off, someone who took 25% below market value, but their neighbors weren't doing that. And we start to see the supply go down here. And I think a lot of what was happening is, people who needed to make a move just made a fair offer. And then also my clients, at least, and I know a lot of agents would tell me the same thing, is people elected to take their properties off the market. They said, you know what? It's been sitting for 5 months, 6 months. We're not getting, reasonable offers based on what's happening. And interest rates were high. They weren't going up. They were actually slightly going down. And people just said, you know what? I have a good rate, or the house is paid off. Let's just figure out a way to rent it out and go from there. Or I'm just going to stay in it and I'll call you back in 6 months or a year and we're going to see what the market is doing. So we saw that supply decrease. So I'm really interested with seeing all these new luxury guard gated listings hit the market this week, if we're going to start seeing a lot more supply because of what's happening with the interest rates. And I think also people move every 2 to 5 years. And so people that bought early COVID, they're probably feeling a little bit suffocated right now. They've been maybe ready to make a move, but their rate is so good, or what has come available hasn't made sense for them. And so we're starting to hopefully see this, and this will be a year where people are coming back into the market. People are starting to sell again, and there's a lot more movement, which is just really good, I think, for the overall economy. So with that being said, we will now dive into the 32 new listings, and then of course go to the sold market report. So whatever you're most interested in, of course, I'll put chapters so you can just, head over to that, but try to watch the whole episode. I think that if you are someone that is interested in the guard gated market, maybe you live in a guard gated community in Vegas, this really gives you great information on what's happening throughout the valley in a very niche market. Or if you are someone looking to move to Vegas or purchase in one of these luxury communities, this is going to give you information about price per square foot, what to kind of expect, and even to know what's available. Obviously you can go on Zillow, you can talk to an agent, get them to send you updates. It's just a fun way to just make it through video. You see what I see. And then of course my home tours, I shoot them literally on my iPhone 17, but they're not made to be these curated luxury tour that you're going to see. It's for you to actually experience it the way I do, the way a consumer does, and see the home the way you would if you were just there walking through it. So, hopefully check out my home tours as well. And I do get a little bit of feedback of oh, you should get a camera crew and do all this stuff. But I really want you guys to understand the neighborhood and the feel of the homes that are in these guard gated subdivisions. So with that being said, we will dive in now to the new listings. All right, so pricing this week is going to range from just under $2 million to over $13.5 million, with price per square feet stretching from the mid 400s all the way into over 1,300 square foot. So of course, it's going to depend on location, lot size, views, and architectural significance, of course, as well. So with always, I try to move through the valley west to the east, which is Henderson, and we'll just go across the valley, grouping the homes by community so you can really understand the value, the lifestyle, and the positioning of the home. So first off, let's start on the west side near Summerlin. We're going to be starting in Queensridge. This is 8137 Desert Jewel Circle. This one is listed at $2,480,000. This is at $515 a square foot, 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, just over 4,800 square feet on a 13,500 square foot lot. This is going to be a lakeside residence offering true resort feel. It's going to have those tranquil water views, a waterfall pool, mature palms that are going to create privacy throughout the yard. The layout is going to be open concept, a lot of natural light flooding in, and there's going to be a really nice separation between the living spaces. Now, keep in mind, Queensridge is one of the most centrally located guard-gated communities on the west side. It is just minutes from Tivoli Village, which has great restaurants and shopping. You are about 10 minutes from downtown Summerlin, close to some private schools, and probably I'd say about 20 minutes, whether it be on the highway or just taking streets from the Las Vegas Strip. Okay, so next up, we're going to head up the street into Summerlin proper. This is going to be Eagle Hills, just along the side of TPC Summerlin private golf course. This is 9001 Night Owl Court, listed at $2,480,000. This one is again at $514 a square foot. This is 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, just over 4,800 square feet on an 11,700 square foot lot. This one is going to be located at the end of a cul-de-sac. It is going to have that custom home featuring a remodeled primary suite, a gourmet kitchen, and a backyard that was really designed for entertaining year-round. You're going to have a pool as well as a lot of fire features. Now, this is a guard-gated boutique community, roughly about, I'd say, 125 homes in it, and it's going to sit right along, again, TPC Summerlin, which is a private TPC golf course in the heart of Summerlin. All right, we are going to head up west toward the mountains. We're going to check out the Ridges. This is 10 Sugarberry Lane. This property is listed at $2.5 million, so it's just over $662 a square foot, featuring 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, over 3,700 square feet on a 7,400 square foot lot. This is going to be that like courtyard centric home. It is designed around the indoor and outdoor living. It's going to have multiple sliding glass walls, a private pool and spa, and really refined modern finishes. The Ridges is going to be one of Summerlin's most prestigious guard-gated modern communities, and it is anchored next to Bears Best Golf Club, and it also is going to have private resident only clubhouse and fitness center that I know they're doing an expansion to. So that's really great as well. So the Ridges as well as McDonald Highlands are probably 2 of the most popular communities. If people are moving here and they're like, these are the ones I've heard of, those are the 2 that people generally hear of and have that modern architecture. I think it's a really good price per square foot for this property as well. All right, next up, we're going to go just down the street to Red Rock Country Club. Red Rock Country Club is going to be very close to downtown Summerlin, and this is going to be 1990 Country Cove Court, listed just under $3 million at $782 a square foot. This property is going to feature 6 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, over 3,700 square feet on almost a 7,000 square foot lot. This is golf frontage on the Arroyo course. The home is going to offer those beautiful balcony views, a reimagined interior, and you're going to have a low maintenance lot that's really ideal for that lock and leave luxury client. All right, so right down the street in Red Rock Country Club, we're taking a look at 2038 Cherry Creek Circle. This property is listed at $3,450,000 at $621 a square foot. This is 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 5,555 square feet on a 12,000 square foot lot. This is going to be behind the guard gate and then positioned behind a second gate on one of the most coveted streets in Red Rock Country Club. This is going to be a Tuscan estate delivering those vaulted ceilings, stone finishes, a grotto style pool, and sweeping golf and city views. All right, still in Red Rock Country Club, we're taking a look at 11593 Glowing Sunset Lane. This one is listed at $3,792,000 at $860 a square foot. It features 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 4,400 square feet on a 10,000 square foot lot. This is fully renovated single story with a disappearing edge pool. You're going to have no rear neighbors. It is again located just minutes from downtown Summerlin and Red Rock Casino. So you're really in the heart of a lot of things in Red Rock Country Club because you're just, if you don't want to drive far, you really don't have to. All right, again, still in Red Rock Country Club, we are looking at 2845 Red Arrow Drive. This one is listed at $5,500,000 at $748 a square foot, 6 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, over 8,400 square feet on a 15,000 square foot lot. This again is located behind the guard gate and then a second gate. And this is a Tuscan masterpiece, including 2 detached casitas, a central courtyard, a pool, a private theater, and you're going to have those dramatic golf course views from this property. All right, I usually like to take you through the valley, but we're going to pop down to the Palisades, which is again a boutique Summerlin guard-gated community. I always say it, this is one of my favorite communities. This is 309 Royal Aberdeen Way. This one is listed at $3,350,000. It's going to be $623 a square foot. It is 4 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, over 5,300 square feet on a 14,000 square foot lot. This is a Christopher Home custom estate. You're going to have an executive office, those beautiful linear fireplaces, expansive sliders, and a full resort style backyard. Okay, still in the Palisades, we're at 10301 or Kinney Drive. This one is listed at $3,675,000. This is at $620 a square foot, 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, over 6,100 square feet on a 12,000 square foot lot. This is going to back up directly to TPC Las Vegas. TPC Las Vegas is a public course, absolutely beautiful there. This is going to be a remodeled estate and it is going to include an elevator, a wine cellar, a saltwater pool, and a beautiful kitchen. Now we're going to go again, heart of Summerlin. This is going to be inside of Tournament Hills. Tournament Hills is one of the premier guard-gated luxury communities in Summerlin. It is a bit older though, but it's stunning and the homes are estate homes. This is 1416 Iron Hills Lane, listed at $4.5 million. That's $994 a square foot. This is 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, over 4,500 square feet on a 17,000 square foot lot. So we do see these in more spacious lots. This is going to be a single story custom estate with soaring ceilings. You're gonna have a media room, a lush resort style backyard. And Tournament Hills, again, is known for that really lush landscape as well as the more private, like very premium lots. We're going to go to the southwest part of Las Vegas. We're going to check out Southern Highlands. Now, this is going to be 23 T Olive Drive. This is in the master subdivision inside of Southern Highlands. This is listed at $1,935,000, just under $500 a square foot. 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, just under 4,000 square foot home on an 11,000 square foot lot. This is true single story luxury home with a private multi-generational suite. You're gonna have a courtyard with a beautiful fireplace, a chef's kitchen, and a saltwater pool. All right, now still in Southern Highlands, we're going to take a look at 12007 Oakland Hills Drive. This is listed at $2,100,000 at $546 a square foot. This is 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 3,850 square feet on a 13,000 square foot lot. This is going to be a reimagined single story. It's going to capture the fairway, waterfall, and mountain views, and really going to have those timeless finishes throughout. And in Southern Highlands still, 42 Carolina Cherry Drive. This one is listed at $2.3 million. That's under $500 a square foot. This is 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, over 4,600 square feet on a 10,000 square foot lot. This again is going to be that double gated estate. So guard gate, second gate, it's going to have a pool, a spa, and expansive indoor outdoor terraces, ideal for entertaining and just really enjoying the property. We're going to take a look at some ultra luxury in here. This is Olympia Hills, 43 Olympia Hills Circle, just under $6 million at $875 a square foot. This is 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, over 7,250 square feet on a 30,000 square foot lot. This is going to be a beautiful single story estate with a detached casita on an oversized lot. I mean, over a half acre, great lot size. It's going to be walking distance to the Sohi Country Club, which is really nice because if you like that country club living, this is ideal to just pop over, have your coffee, enjoy. Next up is 18 Olympia Hills Circle. Now this is truly an estate home inside of Southern Highlands. This one is listed at $10,300,000 at $720 a square foot. This is 7 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, over 14,700 square feet on a 40,000 square foot lot. This is a 3-story Tuscan showpiece. It's going to have an elevator, an indoor sports court, spa complex, a wine room, a guest house, and it's going to have one of the most impressive backyards in the entire valley. All right, we're going to head a little bit more going into Green Valley, Henderson, Central Las Vegas, we'll call this. And this is going to be Quail Ridge Estates. This is 30 Quail Hollow Drive, listed at $2,680,000 at $466 a square foot. 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, over 5,700 square feet on a 23,000 square foot lot. This is going to be a Tudor-style English estate with a private pickleball court, a circular driveway, a designer-led renovation. It's going to be a rare estate community offering privacy and oversized lots. If you like oversized lots, Quail Ridge Estates, a little bit older, but they have incredible lots in there. All right, so in Henderson, we're going to head up to McDonald Highlands. This is, again, one of the most popular. People are going to be moving here and they say, okay, I got referred to you. And my friends that either move to Henderson, go to McDonald Highlands, or to the Ridges in Summerlin. I always like to share with them other possibilities, so other guard-gated communities, but those are generally the two most popular. So we're in Henderson in McDonald Highlands, and we are checking out 1733 Choice Hills Drive, listed just under 2.2 million, and it's $496 a square foot. This is 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, over 4,400 square feet on a 10,000 square foot lot. This is going to be a modernized home. It's going to have dual quartz islands, a wet bar. There's going to be no rear neighbors. Next up in McDonald Highlands is going to be 584 St. Croix Street. This is at $4.5 million, $547 a square foot, 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, over 8,800 square feet on a half-acre lot. This is a grand estate with a wine cellar, a casita, a resort-style outdoor living, and it is, of course, obviously in Henderson, one of their most exclusive guard-gated communities. All right, down the street, 571 Overlook Rim Drive. This is $4.5 million, $1,130 a square foot, 3 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, just under 4,000 square feet on a 14,000 square foot lot. This is one of the largest lots in the neighborhood. You're going to have unobstructed strip, golf, and mountain views. This is just a clear example of that driving price. This is a modern Christopher home, and we do see people paying top dollar for what they're getting here. Okay, next up, we're at 1493 Foothills Village Drive. It's $4.9 million, just under $5 million, at $531 a square foot. This is 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, over 9,200 square feet, and it's on an 18,000 square foot lot. This is golf frontage estate with dual primary suites and expansive entertaining areas. Again, McDonald Highlands, 801 Dragon's Eye Drive, listed at $6,801,000 at $884 a square foot. This is 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, 7,690 square feet on a 14,000 square foot lot. This is a brand new build, Blue Heron home with panoramic strip views. You're going to have also views of the Dragon Ridge Country Club in McDonald Highlands. You are getting a membership included in this one. So that's actually a major value because usually a membership fee is $150,000, and then you're going to have your other dues as well. So I like that a lot. All right, still in McDonald Highlands. We're at 615 Scenic Rim Drive. This is $7,950,000, $1,303 a square foot. This is 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 6,100 square feet on a 19,000 square foot lot. This single story architectural masterpiece. This one's done by Richard Luke, and it's going to have that rare 6-car garage. So if you're a car collector, you're also going to have an infinity edge pool. Okay, back over to Skyview by Christopher Homes. We're going to look at 503 Overlook Rim Drive. This one's at $2.5 million, $610 a square foot, 3 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 4,100 square feet on a 4,300 square foot lot. Next up, just next door, is going to be 501 Overlook Rim Drive. $2.5 million is $606 a square foot, 4 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 4,200 square feet, again, 4,300 square foot lot. Brand new contemporary homes. This one's featuring an elevator, Wolf Sub-Zero appliances, wraparound decks, strip views. These are going to be ideal for buyers wanting that modern design without full custom built timelines. We are seeing a higher price per square foot for these like new modern homes, townhomes, etc., versus some of the older build full custom estates. They are going to be higher price points, but a lot less price per square foot. All right, now we're going to head over to Anthem Country Club. This is going to be 5 Aiden Drive. This is in the Alvamar subdivision. This one's listed at $4,685,000. It's $687 a square foot. This is 7 bedrooms, 6.5 baths, over 6,800 square feet on a 6,500 square foot lot. This is a fully rebuilt modern estate inside of Anthem's exclusive double gated Alvamar enclave. You are going to have smart home automation, a private casita, as well as these elevated strip views. Let's head over to ultra luxury. I know we're seeing a few of those today. We're going to go into an ultra luxury subdivision. This is Askaya in Henderson. We're going to take a look at 6 Hidden Heights Court, listed at $10,175,000. This is $1,301 a square foot, 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, 7,820 square feet on a 41,000 square foot lot. This is a modern single-story sanctuary. It is perched on an oversized tiered lot with those sweeping strip and mountain views that really you can only get in Ascaya. Okay, we're still in Ascaya and we're taking a look at 23 Sanctuary Peak. This one is listed at $13,500,000. That's $1,298 a square foot, 6 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, 10,400 square feet on a 60,500 square foot lot. This is going to be Mojave Manor. This is a modern farmhouse estate, just over 1.3 acres, a multi-sports court, a Crestron smart system, resort-level outdoor living. Ascaya is obviously known for its architectural forward design and standards. It does have the private clubhouse, and this home obviously is a showcase piece. All right, so that is wrapping up our largest and our highest listings, new listings for this week, and we're gonna go into the sold homes market report. Now let's look at what actually closed, because sold homes tell us exactly where buyers are stepping in and how much negotiation is really happening in this market. Okay, so we're going to start again, West Side, Summerlin. We're in Red Rock Country Club. This is 2707 Turtlehead Peak Drive. It's 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 3,800 square feet, 10,000 square foot lot. This one was on the market for about 105 days, which is actually really normal in this market. It sold for $1,976,000, and that was actually 26% under the original list price. This is a single-story golf frontage home on the 17th fairway. The sale is actually a strong reminder that even in a premier guard-gated community, pricing strategy from day one is going to matter, especially if the home has not been fully updated and renovated. All right, again, Red Rock Country Club. We're at 1987 Orchard Miss Street. This is on the west gate. It's 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 4,100 square feet, 7,800 square foot lot, so a little bit more of a petite lot for the size of the house. This was on the market over 3 months, 97 days. It sold for $2,685,000, but that was only 7% under original list price. This again is a reimagined golf view home, ultimately sold after extended market exposure. The renovation obviously helps. Buyers still were price sensitive. Obviously inventory is giving them options, but we like to see between that 5 and 8% in the current market. Hopefully we warm up a bit this year and see the percentage go down. All right, next we're going to go over to Spanish Trails. This is 74 Innisbrook Avenue. This one's 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 6,200 square feet on an 18,000 square foot lot. This one was on the market for 281 days. It sold at $3.5 million, which is roughly 17% below the original list price. This is obviously a really dramatic architectural estate. It's going to have those dual primary suites, a detached casita. Even highly unique homes in historic double guard-gated communities require patience and strong positioning to meet the current market. We're glad that this one got there. Obviously, that's a long time to be on the market for. All right, we're going to go into Anthem Country Club. This is going to be in the Henderson side. This is 24 Knesset Loop. This is 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 3,375 square feet on a 12,000 square foot lot. Days on market is 53. It sold for $2,525,000. That was 14% under list price. So we're seeing a lot of negotiations for these closings right now. This is going to be a single story residence with strip, mountain, and golf course views. Despite excellent views and a really functional floor plan, pricing adjustments were necessary in order for it to obviously reach a successful sale, but it did it in what I consider a pretty short amount of time for the current market. All right, now we're at 4 Mallard Creek Trail. This is 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 4,700 square feet. This is on a 13,000 square foot lot, sold in just 60 days, which is really, again, really good. Sold at $2,675,000. That's only 4.5% under list price. That's really where we want to see sales happen. This is a remodeled home with expansive strip views, a private casita. The home showed really well, and obviously that's why it was closing close to where it was priced. All right, we're going to go over to 5 Golf Crest Court. This 3 bedroom, 4 bathrooms, almost 4,000 square feet on a 15,000 square foot lot. I like all of those specs. It sold in 1 day. It sold at list price for $3.2 million. This is a single story estate with sweeping strip and golf course views. This is a textbook example of what happens when a home is correctly priced and actually is going to just show really well, and it's just a really good product ultimately. All right, still in Henderson, we're heading over to McDonald Highlands. This is 641 Majestic Rim Drive. 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 6,400 square feet on a 15,000 square foot lot. This one, longer days on market, 220. It sold at $5,700,000, roughly about 18.5% under the original list price. This was a modern golf front custom home with strip views. It was ultra luxury custom, and obviously we had higher timelines for this one. The buyer remained disciplined even at the higher price points, and with those buyers, sometimes they're just gonna come in really strong or go for the throat, can go either way. All right, we're gonna head back over to the west side of town, ultra luxury, to Summit Club. This is 11660 Summit Club Drive. This is Unit 204. It's a penthouse. This is 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 4,900 square feet, was on the market for 179 days. It sold for $21 million. That was just about 10% under the original list price. Really good sale for Vegas, though. That's a great sale for Vegas. The only true penthouse located in Summit Club Clubhouse. So obviously it demanded that price. Even at the very top of the market, buyers were still negotiating. There's obviously a lot of demand in there. We are seeing, homes come up in the Summit Club that are literally going within days. So this was a win for the buyer ultimately. All right, now we're gonna go back over to the other side of town. We're jumping around again to Lake Las Vegas. We're in South Shore. This is 4 Via Vittorio Place. This is 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, just under 4,800 square feet on a 17,000 square foot lot. This sold in 42 days, 3.5% under the list price at $1,925,000. This was a renovated custom home with dual primary suites, a pool, a spa, lake and mountain views. It was well presented home, very lifestyle driven community out there. So obviously it performed pretty strongly. I really like that price point for what that home was. Geographically, you can clearly see how buyer behavior shifts location to location based on the condition, people's pricing strategy as well. I know that different agents will direct their clients differently. I really like to see us priced and knowing that my seller is willing to negotiate about 5 to 8% from their price. I feel like if we land there, but if we're overpricing, then of course you're going to get lowball offers depending on the house. This is what wraps up this week. Hopefully this gives you guys some insight into how we're directing going into 2026. I think the future weeks are going to tell us a lot of information. Obviously, subscribe to the channel. I do the weekly listing reports for the guard-gated luxury homes as well as home tours. And I will see you guys next week or on the next home tour. Hopefully, we're going to be dropping one in the next few days. Have a good week, guys.